What are the 3 keys to success in negotiation? Roger Fisher used to summarize it in 3 words. Prepare. Prepare, and you guessed right. Prepare.
Easier said than done, Anna. Many people might say, we just don't have the time to prepare.
You're right, Michel. We cannot ask our participants to find the time they don't have. But we can invite them to manage their negotiation time differently, so that they find more time to prepare. And the time spent preparing upfront can prevent time wasted later. Ultimately, this is a time saver. Instead of having a 2-hour meeting without preparation, I suggest a 1-hour meeting with 50 minutes of preparation. If well managed, you gain 10 minutes.
And what do you do during the 50 minutes?
You dig deeper on the people, the problems, and the process. So, how do you prepare for the people? You draw a stakeholders map with the relationships each party involved in or impacted by the negotiations has with each other. You also list the motivations, the underlying interest of all the key protagonists, not simply yours, but also theirs. How do you prepare for the problems? You brainstorm about possible solutions you could propose at the negotiation table. You try to identify some compatible issues to establish some quick wins for both of you, the famous win-win options. This common ground is a great foundation for other issues that might be more contentious or challenging. To address the latter, identify which ones are more important for you or for the other. Imagine some trade-offs, some give-and-take options. You now have a plan A with many possible options. As you start thinking about solutions, always try to associate them with clear justifications, so that when you propose solutions, you can strongly anchor them with good reasons. Finally, think about what you would do or they would do if there was no deal, no zone of possible agreement between the two of you. Identify your solutions away from the table, your alternatives, as well as theirs. Do not overestimate yours. Do not underestimate theirs. But above all, be prepared with your best plan B, just in case. 3. How do you prepare for the process? When you are prepared for the people and the problems, how do you go about the next steps? What is your agenda for the next meeting or the next meetings? Do you need a call plan? Who should you contact first and then? Zoom out to be clear about your strategy, your general purpose. Zoom in to sequence the various steps and operations. Zoom in even more to visualize the meeting and its structure and sequencing, the introduction, body, and conclusion. Think about developing a meeting script.
Okay, 50 minutes. That is the target time for everything you described. And I guess it could be 5 hours or 5 months, depending on the complexity of the negotiation. But let me make the hypothesis harder. What if you really don't have 50 minutes, but only 5 minutes? Your boss or your counterpart is calling and wants to talk to you immediately.
Yes, this is sometimes frustrating. I knew of a boss who would never say what the topic of the meeting was, and I never felt prepared. So I would ask, could you tell me what the meeting will be about? And if there was no clear response, I would take 5 minutes to think about or 3 key questions: people, problems, and process.
So my understanding is that we need to resist the reflex of negotiating without preparing. Ideally, at least 50 minutes or even 5 minutes is better than no preparation at all. It reminds me of how sometimes humanitarians can be blocked at a crossroads by armed persons. Probably the best advice is to simply step back 5 seconds. For sure, you might not be able to think of all the categories we've talked about if you had 50 minutes or 5 minutes. But if you step back, even for 5 seconds, you can think hard about one thing. your objective. So think about what your objective is right now, right here, and stick to it. The worst is to not be able to figure out one's key objective, not to be purposeful.
So I summarize. Find the time to prepare for negotiation. 50 minutes, 5 minutes, even 5 seconds.